Okay, what's going on, guys? I wanted to go over the best value icons. These are cheap icons and icons that can go in any team. These are game-changing cards that you can really get a big performance boost from. Some underrated cards as well. And while everyone always cries when there's a market crash, I love it. I mean, especially in real life, I love it. I mean, I'm always drip feeding in the UK with an ISA. I'm not sure if you know what that is around the world, but it's basically like a tax-free wrapper where you can basically invest. And I love when the market collapses because I drip feed into that. And then when I'm ready, when the market is low, is when I always buy in. But, technically, I always drip feed at the lowest point. But anyway, that's another story altogether. Anyway, but let's go over the best icons. And because the market is so low, that means we're getting more bang for our buck with our weekly rewards. Maybe you're just a casual player, or maybe you don't have that many coins. There are some really good buys you can get here. We're going to go from like 800k and below, so kind of do a bit of all budgets. So let's go over here. Now, the first card is Sergey. I think that's how you say her name. Now, I want to put her in because she has two things that I like. Jockey for defending, tiki-taka, and intercept. You could argue three very underrated, well, probably the most important playstyles, but very underlooked. I don't really care about the relentless. It's nice to have first touch again, and press proven is good if you're bad at dribbling. And she is a bit slow, but because she's an icon, you can slap a shadow on her. She can play centre mid and she can play as a CDM, but she's got good finishing. So you could put a hunter on her. She can go inside the box. She's got very good passing. She's got good stamina and good dribbling. Don't forget, she's only 5'9". So even though her agility and balance is not like 90s, she's still going to feel smooth on a ball. But for 150k with that tiki-taka, if you're looking for tiki-taka, I think she's a very good card, but she can defend as well. So one that's definitely worth the coins. Fowdy's another one. She's got incisive. So if you're someone distributing through balls and you want someone who's a bit better in terms of shooting, she's got the 4-star weak foot. She could also play on a hunter as a center mid and a CDM. Those are some cheap nuggets. And one of the best CDMs, maybe you could argue Matuidi probably. I think Matuidi is probably the much better card here if you have it. But since this is not heroes, this is icons, I think Essien is a fantastic card. He is a bit slow. I wish he was a bit faster. Even with his shadow, you guys know what I'm talking about when you're running back and recovering. But incisive, anticipate, jockey, I think he's a formidable card, and good passing. That incisive really does help. And of course, he has the box-to-box, center mid, and box crash one to play him a bit more attacking. Finishing is a bit diabolical, but I keep thinking about a goal he scored against us all those years ago as an Arsenal fan. But he can take those long-range shots. He's decent at it with a power shot playstyle as well if you do use it. Quite a rare one. You don't really see power shots used as much. Abeli has a tiki-taka playstyle plus. There isn't that many players that have it. I want to give an honorable mention to a card that I used, as Bernardo Silva. I actually like him with Reinders because he's just a bit smooth on the ball. So an underrated card you don't hear enough about is this one, but that's for another video. Sorry, going back to what I was saying, there isn't that many cards available, especially icon-wise. Xavi is pretty good as well. Abeli is good. She can't play CDM. That's the only downside, but if you're looking for a Barmati style player, she's got the finesse shot, she's got tiki-taka play style, plus she's got technical, she's got very good finishing and shot power, very good passing, and good defending. You can put a shadow on her if you want to play as a defensive centre mid, or you could equally put a hunter on her as well if you want to be attacking and going inside the box. Now, going to the strikers. So I wanted to throw in a cheap beast per se, which has the quick step, and a finesse shot, and Michael Owen's got rapid as well. 4-star weak foot. Look, by all means, he's not one of the best, but I think for 150k, yes, he's got 3-star skill moves. I'm not saying he should have ideally 4, but if you're not a skiller, I used him on my other account and I actually really like him. Put a hunter on him. He has 96 finishing, 95 sprint speed, can't pass to save his life. But if you're looking for that through ball person or the person to make those runs with behind, I really like him, and he's explosive. So technically speaking, if he had technical, that would be a bit of a joke, having quick step and rapid. Very underrated. I don't think I've ever played against him on the opposite side. A very underrated card. And just on that note, like let's say we go and we try to look for an icon, by the way, there's a few of them we're going to come on to in a second. But let's say we look for an icon and then we wanted both the finesse shot and the low driven. There is not that many players. Yes, you have all the XL, the highest players here, but there isn't that much of an option. You know, you got to kind of choose. And I think with a low driven, there's a few, and same with the finesse shot, but maybe not everyone is as cheap as you think, but we'll come down to that in a second. But he can dribble as well. Shelley, I want to throw in finesse shot. Her curve isn't the best. So for longer range finesse shots, maybe won't be as good, but she's got rapid. She's got enforcer, finesse shot playstyle. Look, could you technically throw a catalyst on a player as a left mid? Sure, why not? But I think as a striker, should be very good. 4-star as well. Quick step and rapid. Yes, it would be nice to show the low driven, but I think she's a very good card nonetheless as a striker. 4-star. Stoichkov, I want to throw in as well. I never really liked Stoichkov historically. The last time I really used him probably was FIFA 19. If you remember that base Stoichkov I used to use quite a lot. I think I packed him. But he is a very good card. Now, he's 5'10", 3-star weak foot. But if you're looking for a striker that's got the finesse shot playstyle, that's got technical and got the low driven playstyle plus, he's got both low driven and a finesse shot. So I think he's really good. Yes, he lacks that 3-star weak foot. So just don't put it on his right. Just don't. But I think if you like Pina, but maybe you want someone who's got the low driven playstyle, but that's got pace in the team, then Stoichkov can be a good player. You could probably still score those shots with like a curved Trivela shot as well if you want to do those as well. But I think he's definitely a very, very good underrated card. I think some pros used him some time ago, but I think he's another good card if, again, you need an icon in your team to get some players on. Butruganya, I want to throw one. Doesn't have the low driven, but it's got finesse shot and technical. 5-star weak foot I want to add in as well, and a technical playstyle plus. Then we've got Chabum Kunt. Now, like I'm telling you, this is one of the most underrated cards I've used inside the game. I don't think people talk about him because they don't know about him. I think everyone looked at this card, and this card was just woeful. I mean, when the game came out, he was decent, but this card is like, you remember my Nedved? This is my Nedved, the new card. 5-star weak foot, 4-star, something like Nedved. 5'10", similar to Nedved as well. He's got enforcer, interesting, but he's got rapid, tiki-taka, quick step, low driven. If he had finesse shot as well, unbelievable. But I think he's a very good card. Yes, his shooting isn't amazing. He's not a winger, he's a striker. And his passing, okay, if you use incisive for your strikers, he's not the player to go with. I agree, but if you're looking for that marksman striker and you're not looking for the incisives too much, I would definitely give him a go. He needs a hunter. Abadi, we talked about already. I want to throw an honorable mention to Zola. Can be faster, but if you're looking for just a finesse shot, someone that can do it as a cam, there's not that many cams in the game. He can play that cam role. CC I put in just purely if you do like to abuse those through balls. Let's say, what are people using now? Yeah, Torre, Wirtz. I mean, I don't think people are using that many. Like maybe Hamsik. I mean, look, maybe if you're using Wirtz still, I think he's a good card. I think she's a good card, should I say. 5'5", can dribble as well. Can shoot. Yeah, 3-star, but weak foot. But I think for a cam, again, not that many choices icon-wise. Going to defenders now, I was very reluctant to throw Sol Campbell in. Very reluctant. I just thought I had to throw someone there. He hasn't got the playstyles. But I know there's a lot of you guys sitting here who haven't got that many coins and you need someone. You can make the argument that Vidic can be better in some ways because he's got the jockey playstyle. It depends on which way you want to go with it. And maybe you could argument is there that Vidic could be... Do you know what? Maybe let's I'm not going to air this pot out, but let's take out Campbell. I just think because the jockey... Look, I put him in there because he's got bruise and block, and I think he's a good card. He's got a good pace for recovery. But thinking about, even though defending is very OP, I think people will still prefer that jockey playstyle. So maybe go with Vidic here in that situation. Yeah, so just cancel that Campbell for a second. So cancel this one. Chiellini, we've seen pros use him as well. He's got the jockey, the block, and the intercept. He's got the bruiser playstyle plus, which I think the importance is kind of over exaggerated on the average game that you play, even in the higher divisions. But to get jockey, block, and intercept is quite hard. He is slow. You're seeing a lot of pros use him. The difference is they know when to use the pace to recover. But look, if I go for jockey, block, and intercept, there is literally not that many cards in the game. One of my favorite cards, Dan Burn. Honestly, if you're looking for a cheap centre back, well, not cheap, but if you're looking for a real meta centre back, 86 sprint speed, definitely give him a go. But I mean, there isn't that much Ibanez, but he's extinct. I mean, if you're done evolution, there isn't that many players. I mean, Ibanez is going to be hard to link, so unless you get those links together, and he's got everything at par. I think he hasn't got slide tackle or something. I don't know whichever one he's missing. But you know, Dan Burn maybe your next best option, but icon wise, there's no one really there. So if you really want the bruiser, jockey, block, intercept, that's a card for you. Now for goalkeepers, now I don't like Buffon. Some people swear by him because of the far reach. So finesse shots, he's going to be very good. I personally feel, especially with that new evolution where, you know, which one is it called? Where everyone's getting the playstyle plus, this one. Estrella de Moncada. I think that's how you say it anyway. Everyone's got a low-driven striker, and I think everyone's got Pina, and everyone is doing this SBC, and I think you should do it if you're watching this video right now. You should be doing this SBC. At least this is a must complete, in my opinion. So I think you need footwork. So Buffon for finesses is good, but I feel like you need footwork, and it's the same thing why I will say Casillas is the better goalkeeper. He's got far reach and footwork, playstyle plus, and the far reach, which I think is a better option. The only downside is he's not that tall. So let's say you're one of those guys where, like, you know what, you're parking a bus. I didn't promote that, but let's say you are, hypothetically speaking, and you can see a lot of finesse shots. Maybe Buffon might be the way to go, but that would be more of the unique few percent, like 3 or 4%. But for most people, I would say statistically speaking, Casillas probably save you the most amount of goals. Like if you want a statistical number, he will be in the team. He will probably give you the best without doing anything, like without rushing out with the goalkeeper. He'll probably save you the most chances, at least save you the most goals statistically, and probably, I could probably even argue, probably would give you at least a win or so, just in terms of goalkeeper. At least you'll know that in those tight games, he will be there to clutch. At least you know you got one of the best. Oliver Kahn is actually another decent one. Again, same thing, not the tallest, could be a bit taller. But again, he's a very good card. He's got rush out, but no footwork. So again, if you like to use a rush out, you can go with him. It's a bit of a tricky one. Van der Sar, if you want rush out a lot. I use Dudek for cheap, but he's very good. It's kind of a bit difficult for goalkeepers. You know, you see with my own on, I think there still is only one player. I think that's that informed player. No one has rush out, far reach, apart from this guy over here. I mentioned to you that I've done the Onana card. I mentioned to you in another video. Look, if there is some combination evolutions, then yeah, I mean, even right now, I think if we go on the evolution, let's go actually search it. Because there was that, if we do footwork, rush out, and far reach, no, there isn't. So there's only one player. So I think footwork and rush out would be, I would say, the ones that are probably the most important. For the finesse shots, Donnarumma is a good card if you can get him. Donnarumma is probably the better card here because he's 6'5" as well. So it's the other way around. It depends. I just think, personally speaking, people I think statistically speaking, most people are using a low driven more than a finesse shot. It can depend on what division you're in as well. But I think at least up until the top tier divisions, I think footwork is probably a bit more important, especially now with those new SPCs that's come out. And then the last honorable mention we want to say is why they're not include Yashin. The thing is, he hasn't really got the play styles. I think he hasn't got the height. He's got cross claimer. Look, if he had footwork, I would consider him, but I wouldn't get him otherwise. You know, cross claimer is a bit of a waste. I'm going to be a bit honest here. Like if we're talking about players, goalkeepers, like, okay, far throw, I think it's good. From the way that I play, I think far throw is actually kind of important for the way that I play. That's why I done that. Pope as well. Footwork is the most important. Then far reach. Then rush out. Then deflector and cross claimers. Probably, I'm not gonna lie, probably the worst of them all. So I mean, look, that would be like some cheap meta beast. Look, there's obviously much more expensive players. Like, in my opinion, this is one of the best centre backs in the game. Like, if you're struggling to defend, go put Thuram there. He's probably going to solve most of your issues defensively. And I think Di Lorenzo is not an icon, but I want to throw him in there as well. So look, I think there is so many good players. I think in terms of the budget, I'm thinking, let's say let's just for this end part, let's just increase the budget for this end part of the video. Let's say under a mil. I'll tell you. So obviously all these guys, yes. Yes. Rio, yes, but probably would have been my first choice. Zico, a very good card, but he's too expensive. Who's under 1 million here? So Chiellini went over. Torres actually not a bad idea, but he hasn't got the curve, and the problem is he's 6'1". So I think he's actually not a bad card. I think people don't give him the respect he deserves. I think he's a bit clunky. Can't pass save his life, and I think in that situation you got to think about what do you want. I think low driven, rapid, quick step, and finesse shot. I think he's still a very good card. Hasn't got the long shots and hasn't got the curve, so the finesse shot's a bit more important inside the box. So outside the box, you won't really find him to be as useful as some of the other cards. Blanc, I think he's okay. I think there's other better values you can get. Iniesta, if you like to spam those incisives. But oh yeah, Dalglish. So if you want to extend your budget and you want a 5-star weak footer, Dalglish is another card. I'm not using this year, but I can just tell you. I mean, like, I think anyone who knows this game, realistically, you just look at the stats and you look at the play styles, and anyone who at least understands the game knows if a card is good or not. I mean, people live in this fantasy land thinking like every card doesn't perform to their stats. There can be a few exceptions where some cards just feel very overpowered. But like Pina is not overpowered because of her stats. She's overpowered because of her playstyles. But Dalglish, if you've got 1 million coins, finesse shot, low driven, his curve could be better, but I think he's a very good card as well. So it's quite a lot. Raul, another good honorable mention as well. Got low driven as well, finesse shot. I should have had him in my list. I don't know why I didn't. I think I removed him because of the curve. But look, those are some of the best players. There are some other players here. Maybe their value. Chavi's also got Tiki Taka. And Incisive, he's actually a very good card. You can argue, the argument is there's probably some other cards here that are probably very effective. But I really wanted to get the bang for your buck like a Chabum Kun. Some of these players are very, very expensive. And then when you go towards the latter end, isn't really the best. Like, no one's, let's be realistic, unless you're a Roberto Carlos fan and you absolutely love him and you want him to be in your team, no one is spending 1.2 million on a left back unless your team is worth 20 million coins, even 30 million coins, assuming you have R9. That's already 10 million of your budget. If you have maybe a 10, 15 mil plus team, then you can spend it, but I don't think I'd be spending 1.2 million on a left back. So I think there's still a lot of good cards here that you can make the argument for, but I just don't think you can justify the price tag, if that makes sense. But anyway, look, I hope that kind of helped. Just gave you some of my best budget players, best budget icons. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. But I know people are struggling to make teams. I know you got, like, even on my Patreon, I do squad reviews, and I've seen like 4 leagues. You ideally want 2 leagues, maximum 3 leagues. After that, it gets messy for chemistry if you don't have icons. You need perfect links, or unless you have to pay players of chemistry. But hopefully these icons can slot in and make those differences. And of course, don't forget, if you do want to get better FC, come to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/no guys. Links down below in the description. If you don't get better after 1 month, we'll refund your money. You can sign up now to get 20% off for this Black Friday. One-time deal. Enter the code Friday when you go to checkout from an FC school. Don't forget, if you don't get back after 1 month, we will refund your money. So no guys guarantee. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace.